Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Welcome back. We are going to be looking at some more probability this week. We're going to be dealing with independent events and dependent events. So we're starting with independent events first. So an independent event is an event that just stands on its own. It's independent from anything else. So for example, if I'm going to roll a dice and I'm going to flip a coin, rolling the dice will have its own probability, and flipping a coin will have its own probability, but they will not impact each other. That's an independent event. So when the outcome of one event does not impact the outcome of the second event, the events are called independent. Independent probability can be determined by multiplying the probability of each event happening, or probability, that's capital P, and then what's inside the parentheses are the two events, the probability of A happening and the probability of B happening. So let's just say, for example, let's stick with the rolling the dice and flipping the coin. The probability of me getting a 1 would be 1 out of 6, right? I'm going to actually type that in here. So let's pretend like we're talking about, and I'm going to do some examples in a minute too, but let's do this one. If I was the probability of rolling a 1, and really I should give you, let me just write this. Let's say I want to know the probability of getting a 1 and tails, okay? So the probability of getting 1 and tails. Well, the probability of rolling a 1 is an independent event. The tails or heads does not impact my dice roll. So I get 1 out of 6 for the probability of the first event. The probability of the second event, flipping a coin, the probability of getting a tails is also 1, but out of what? Well, there's only 2 possibilities on flipping a coin, right? I can get a heads or I can get a tails. So the probability of getting tails would be 1 out of 2. And then what I do with these two things is I multiply them. So we're multiplying the probability of the first event and the probability of the second event. And then that gives us our answer, okay? So probability of getting a 1 times the probability of getting a tails. And so then what's my answer going to be? Well, up here, I've got some review of how to multiply fractions. Remember that when you're multiplying fractions, you multiply straight across and then you simplify. So 1/6 times 1/2 would give me 1/12, because 1 times 1 is 1, 6 times 2 is 12. And that cannot be simplified, so that would be my answer. Up here, they already simplified, so like 1 times 3 is 3, 2 times 4 is 8, 3/8. But 1 times 4 is 4, 8 times 5 is 40. But if I had 4 out of 40, that simplifies to 1/10. Same thing here, they just already simplified. So multiply straight across, multiply your numerators, multiply your denominators, simplify, okay? So let's look at a couple examples, and this will make more sense as we walk through it. In a board game, students draw a card, replace it, and then draw a second card. That's important to know that they replace it. That's why this is an independent event. They're drawing a card, then they're putting that card back, and they're drawing another card. Determine the probability of each event. And that's going to be important because dependent is different. So independent, they're putting the card back in. Dependent, they won't be. We'll talk about that in the second lesson. Okay, so to earn 50 points, a student must draw a heart-eyed card and then an angel card. So they've got it lined out here, which makes it really easy. A heart-eyed card, what's the probability that I'm going to get a heart-eyed card? Well, there's 1, 2 heart eyes out of how many total cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I don't have to simplify that. I can if I want to. My answer does need to be simplified though. Okay, and then probability of drawing an angel. There's only 1 angel out of how many total cards? Remember, they put back the heart card. So it's like they drew out a heart card and then they put it back. What's the probability they're going to draw an angel? So all 8 cards are back in the deck when they're drawing the second one. And then I just multiply. 1 times 2 is 2. 8 times 8 is 64, which would simplify to 1 out of 32. Now, on your other probability questions in past assignments, I have not been counting off if you don't simplify, okay? I would like for you to simplify, but it's hard enough doing these lessons on your own. I'm not counting off if you forget to simplify. Okay, to earn 20 points, a student must draw a sleeping card and then an angry card. All right, sleeping card, looks like there's 2 of them out of 8. Remember, the denominator is not changing because I'm putting that first card back in and I'm drawing again. And then a sleeping card, a sleeping card and then an angry card, 1, 2. So that's also 2 out of 8. 2 times 2 is 4. 8 times 8 is 64, which would simplify to 1 out of 16. I divided both the numerator and the denominator by 4. Up here, I just had to divide by 2. All right, to earn 15 points, a student must draw an angry card. So we just did angry card. That was 2 out of 8. Again, you can simplify that if you want. And then a laughing card. Looks like this one is our only laughing face. So 1 out of 8. And then I multiply. 2 times 1 is 2. 8 times 8 is 64. Just like the first one. 2 out of 64 would simplify to 1 out of 32. Last one. To earn 5 points, a student must draw a sleeping card. So there's 2 sleeping cards out of 8. Or a heart-eyed card. Oops. Okay. A sleeping card or a heart-eyed card. Okay, so sleeping or hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 8. That's a half. And then an angry card. So angry card has 2 out of 8. Oops, not out of 78. There we go. And then we multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 8 is 64. And then let's see, that would simplify to 1/8 because we could divide by 8 on the top and the bottom. I get 1/8. Okay, so it's just taking the probability of your first event times the probability of your second event. That's your answer. All right, your assignment is just a couple of questions. I think it's either 4 or 5. I can't remember. I think I did 5 on the Google form. Okay, if you have any questions, just shoot me an email. Have a great day.